More than 2,000 years ago, one woman stood at the center of the most dangerous political struggle in the ancient world. Her name was Cleopatra VII. She was the last queen of Egypt, a brilliant strategist, and a ruler whose life would become legend. Her story would become intertwined with two of Rome's most powerful men, Julius Caesar, and later, Mark Antony. Their alliances would reshape the Mediterranean world and lead to one of the most dramatic endings in ancient history. Cleopatra was born in 69 BC in the great city of Alexandria. She belonged to the royal Ptolemaic dynasty, a Greek family that had ruled Egypt for nearly 3 centuries. The dynasty began after the conquests of Alexander the Great. Although Cleopatra ruled Egypt, her family was originally Macedonian Greek, but Cleopatra was different from many of her ancestors. She embraced Egyptian traditions and culture. Unlike earlier rulers, Cleopatra even learned the Egyptian language. This helped her build a strong connection with the people she ruled. Yet life inside the royal palace was dangerous. Power struggles, conspiracies, and betrayals were common, and Cleopatra would soon face those dangers herself. When Cleopatra's father died, the throne passed to Cleopatra and her younger brother, Ptolemy XIII. According to tradition, the two siblings were meant to rule together, but the partnership quickly collapsed. Powerful advisors surrounding the young king saw Cleopatra as a threat. Soon she was forced out of Alexandria. Cleopatra was driven into exile. For many rulers, this would have meant defeat. But Cleopatra was determined to return. She began gathering supporters and planning her comeback. And soon, an unexpected opportunity would appear. At that time, the Roman world was in chaos. A civil war had erupted between two powerful leaders, Julius Caesar and Pompey the Great. The conflict eventually brought Caesar to Egypt. Cleopatra realized this could change everything. According to legend, she secretly entered the palace, hidden inside a carpet. When the carpet was unrolled before Caesar, Cleopatra appeared. The bold move worked. Caesar was impressed by her intelligence and confidence. Soon he decided to support her claim to the throne. Caesar's decision sparked a violent conflict known as the Alexandrian War. For months, fighting erupted throughout Alexandria. But Caesar's forces eventually defeated Cleopatra's enemies. Cleopatra was restored to the throne of Egypt. Now she ruled once again. But her alliance with Caesar would grow far deeper than politics. Cleopatra and Caesar soon formed a powerful partnership. Their relationship also became personal. In 47 BC, Cleopatra gave birth to a son named Caesarion. Many believed the child was Caesar's son. Cleopatra later traveled to Rome and stayed there for a time. But Rome itself was filled with political tension. Many senators feared Caesar had become too powerful, and soon, events would take a dramatic turn. In 44 BC, Julius Caesar entered the Roman Senate. There, a group of conspirators attacked him. The event became known as the assassination of Julius Caesar. With Caesar dead, the political balance collapsed. Rome once again descended into conflict. Cleopatra returned to Egypt, but the struggle for power in Rome was far from over. After Caesar's death, several leaders competed for control of Rome. One of them was the famous general Mark Antony. Antony summoned Cleopatra to meet him in the city of Tarsus. Cleopatra arrived in spectacular fashion. Her royal ship sailed up the river decorated in gold. Purple sails caught the sunlight. The display was designed to impress, and Antony was captivated. Soon the two formed a powerful alliance. Cleopatra and Antony ruled much of the eastern Mediterranean. Together, they built a powerful partnership. But their growing influence alarmed another Roman leader, Octavian, who would later become Augustus. Octavian feared Antony had become too loyal to Cleopatra. Using this fear, he turned Rome against them. Soon, war became inevitable. The decisive battle came in 31 BC. It took place at the Battle of Actium. Octavian's navy faced the combined forces of Antony and Cleopatra. The battle ended in disaster for them. Their fleets were defeated. Their empire began to collapse, and Octavian marched toward Egypt. As Octavian's army approached Alexandria, hope began to fade. Believing Cleopatra had died, Mark Antony took his own life. Soon afterward, Octavian captured the city. Cleopatra realized she would be taken to Rome as a prisoner. She refused to live in humiliation. According to tradition, Cleopatra ended her life with the bite of a poisonous snake. She died in 30 BC. With her death, the Ptolemaic dynasty came to an end. Egypt soon became part of the Roman Empire. After Cleopatra's death, Egypt changed forever. For thousands of years, Egypt had been ruled by powerful pharaohs and dynasties. But now, that long history had come to an end. Egypt was absorbed into the growing power of Rome. The ancient kingdom that once built the pyramids and ruled the Nile was now a province of the Roman world. For the Roman leader Octavian, the victory was complete. Soon he would become known as Augustus, the first emperor of Rome. His rise marked the beginning of a new era. The Roman Republic was gone, and the Roman Empire had begun. Yet even as Rome grew stronger, the story of Cleopatra continued to capture the imagination of the world. Historians wrote about her intelligence and political skill. Writers described her dramatic life and her powerful alliances. Artists and storytellers across centuries would remember the queen who stood against Rome. Some portrayed her as a symbol of beauty. Others saw her as a master of strategy and diplomacy. But one thing was certain. Cleopatra was far more than a legend. She was a ruler who fought to protect her kingdom during one of the most dangerous moments in ancient history. And even though Egypt ultimately fell to Rome, her story would never disappear. But Cleopatra's legend would live on for thousands of years. A queen of ambition, a master of politics, and the last ruler of ancient Egypt.